to Orlando. Brand Williams, reporter, Detroit News. You were in court today. I was watching all this testimony, and I could barely hear him talking. He is speaking in such a low voice. Did anybody else comment on that? I mean, it was almost like it was beyond like a Clint Eastwood, make my day kind of low voice. It was really kind of a whisper. Is that his normal way of speaking, or was it part of maybe the defense technique to increase the sense of his fear?
Well, Jane, except for one quick interview I had with him last year right after this happened, we've never heard him speak before. And actually, we didn't have any problems hearing his volume was pretty good because people said it was riveting testimony, and the courtroom was very, very still. So everyone could really make out. It was a 2-hour-long testimony, followed by that 40-minute interrogation video. And tomorrow he's expected to be back on the stand where he'll be cross-examined.
Was the family of Renisha McBride in the courtroom, and did they have any reaction to this testimony, if so?
Yes, there were some family members still left. Her dad was there. Walter Simmons was still in the courtroom. I could hear a few rows ahead of me some people saying they thought it was an act. They didn't believe the emotions that were coming from Mr. Wafer.
All right, you make a very good point. Let's stand by, if you will. Right after Ted Wafer, a 55-year-old airport maintenance worker, testified in his own defense. The jury watched his interrogation tape from when he was just arrested. Listen carefully to what he says to police and see if you pick up any contradictions or alleged contradictions.
Yeah, going to find out what was going on. I think I even said something, I'm not sure what I said. Because this has been a discharge.
Ebony K. Williams, on the stand, he says nobody said anything before the gun went off. In the interrogation tape, he says he thinks he said something. On the witness stand, he says he's terrified, scared, but didn't want to be a victim in his own house. On the tape, he says he's mad and filled with piss and vinegar. Are those contradictions that the prosecution can jump on?
Those are huge contradictions, Jane. Look, what we see is the defense really playing to the homeowners on this jury. You see them talking about this kind of castle doctrine in a literal sense, this no duty to retreat, this thing that says that you don't have to be a victim in your own home, and this guy wasn't going to cower, and he was going to stand up for his rights. But the other part of self-defense, Jane, and this is what they're not harping on, is the reasonableness of the defendant's actions. Was it fair, reasonable, and justified to shoot and kill this 19-year-old girl? After another thing, Jane, that they didn't harp on, and I expect to be harped on in cross-examination, this gentleman was also drinking on the night of this crime, this alleged crime. He had 3 beers as well, so Renisha was not the only one impaired.